Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I've got the 110 scale 73 Ford Bronco back on the bench. It's been a while since I've made a video showcasing this vehicle, so to quickly recap, the chassis is a MST CMX that's completely box stock with some basic electronics. I heard so many great things about this chassis when I first got it, and after having it a few years, I've been very impressed. It's a great all-around, lower-cost chassis that I think's perfect for the kind of mostly casual driving that I do when I'm out in the woods. It's also a little smaller than your typical 110 scale crawler from other brands, making it a great choice for running smaller bodies, such as this 73 Ford Bronco from Tamiya. It's just a basic polycarbonate body I painted up a while back, but it's pretty cool overall. There are other options when it comes to getting a polycarbonate first-gen Bronco body, but in my opinion, the proportions and shape just doesn't look as good as the ones from Tamiya. In fact, I have a small hoard of these bodies on the shelf. Aside from some custom magnetic body mounts, which allows for a nice flip-up option to access the battery, the Bronco is pretty plain at the moment, but that's soon going to change. I want to add a bunch of items to make this truck a lot more scale, such as inner fenders and interior and a bunch of other accessories. In fact, I've been wanting to work on this Bronco for a while now, but like a lot of other things, it's kind of got put on the back burner until this past week. I had a couple evenings to do a little work on it and get it ready for spring. Should be a lot of fun, so let's dive right in. First thing I thought I'd do was clean up the body and chassis a bit. I'm pretty sure there's still dust and dirt from USTE like 2 years ago left on this thing. The body could easily be washed, but with the chassis not being waterproofed, I used a different method. In case you're dying to know, I just used compressed air. First thing I wanted to add are some custom inner fender pieces that I designed a while back. They're already printed and painted, as you can see. All I need to do is figure out how I'm going to mount them to the chassis. A little easier said than done. I ended up needing to do a little trimming in a few spots, and after some contemplation, I decided to secure them to the frame rails using Velcro. Although not as solid as using hardware, it's easier just to stick some on, and they can be removed and adjusted effortlessly. Also, no drilling or modifying the chassis is needed. Already a massive improvement. I'm going to be doing my best to track down these STL files and hopefully be able to post them onto Patreon. I didn't like some of the white backing coat being visible, so I used a little black paint to cover up these sections. It's a small detail, but an easy improvement. Next up, I've got some custom 3D printed tailpipes and the side view mirrors included with the body. It's no mystery where the side view mirrors are going to be mounted. However, the exhaust on the other hand, I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to place them at first. Placing them going out the back like you would expect doesn't really make sense, since they would sit really low and would probably kind of get in the way. I decided that a better solution would be to have them glued to the body, sort of like this, having them go out both sides. They're a lot more protected this way, and I've seen similar setups on full-size Broncos. It should look pretty cool. After cutting the mirrors off of the parts tree and doing a little sanding on the tailpipe pieces, they're all ready for paint. Though before I begin painting, I wanted to add a jerrycan to the back. I gathered some reference material and opened up Autodesk Fusion 360 to design my own custom mount. A lot of the 110 scale mounts designed for RC cars that I saw just don't look very scale. I did the best I could to accurately replicate the look of the full-size mount while also making the design easy to 3D print and assemble. The STL files will be posted on a Patreon for anyone who is interested. A slightly revised version will also be posted on our store page. You'll find the links below in the description. Once the design was complete, I printed each piece and removed the support structure. Of course, a jerrycan holder is no good if there's no jerrycan to put in it. Time for a little shameless self-promotion. Again, the link is below in the description. There's a nice little discount code down there as well if you're watching this video close to the time it was released. It fits like a glove and should look awesome on the back of this Bronco, though I will need to modify the mount just a bit to match the kind of concave shape of the tailgate. I sanded a few spots to remove some imperfections. After some final work, they're ready for primer and paint. I washed all the parts and then used primer to help provide some additional smoothing and help the paint to adhere. After the primer is dry, I painted each part. I'm just using basic Rust-Oleum rattle can paints. Here's a look at everything after giving the paint some time to dry. I wanted to hand paint a few details before gluing everything together. I also added the included decals that go onto the mirrors. At this point, all the parts were looking great, and I was ready to add them to the body. The tailpipes were glued onto the back of the body. I think with where they're positioned, I shouldn't have any issues with them getting caught on things or breaking while driving. Next, I added the side view mirrors using the clips and O-rings included with the body. They look great in black, matching the rest of the trim. Finally, I added the jerrycan onto the back. With these details added, this is where the Bronco is at right now. I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. I think these little details really add to the appearance, especially the inner fenders. There's still lots more things I plan on adding, including an interior of some kind, since the chassis is very visible through the windows, as you can see. I also plan on adding some lights, and I've made a custom grille, so stay tuned for some future updates. With spring finally here, I look forward to getting out and doing some off-road driving, as well as gradually improving the scale appearance of this Bronco. As I said earlier, links to the STL files and products used are below in the description if you'd like to spice up your rig as well. But that's going to be all for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.